Greetings officers. Recently, European Union discussed Manipur violence in their parliament. Today, we are going to discuss this issue of Manipur violence. In the Parliament of European Union, they have portrayed this issue to be a war against Christians. They stated that in India, the freedom of journalists is narrowed. Activists are detained in false accusations. There is growing intolerance against the Christians. The churches are being vandalized. They want to consider human rights issues before making any trade deals with India. Now, in the light of this above scenario, let us look at the crucial question that need to be answered. Are Manipur clashes religious or ethnic? Let's go through that now. Majorly, they're for separate administration or state, and therefore land acquisition policies and reservation in colleges and government jobs. Let's get to know the history of Manipur before discussing the current scenario. We can find the first trace of the Manipur state from 33 AD in court chronicles Chetarol Kumbaba. Meiteis are considered to be the descendants of the serpent king Pankangba. They followed polytheism and later they used to follow Sanamahism, the ancient Hindu religion. Now, the Meiteis mostly practice Hinduism. In 1762, Raja Jai Singh of Manipur was facing frequent invasions from the Burmese and the Nagas. He wanted to bring in more people to protect his kingdom from invasions. So Raja Jai Singh resettled Kukichin tribals in Manipur. They started to settle in the hilly areas of Manipur. But the Burmese invasions did not stop, and the Kukis kept coming into the hills of Manipur. Burma occupied Manipur for over a period of 7 years, that is, from 1819 to 1826. After the Britishers entered India, they helped Manipur royals to fight against the Burmese. This led to First Anglo-Burmese War, and the Britishers won. In the year 1891, Anglo-Manipur War was fought after the palace coup in Manipur. During the time of independence, Manipur was a union territory in 1956, and later on January 21, 1972, Manipur acquired statehood. Now let's analyze the above history. Kukis were brought as the protectors for Meiteis. They hated the Britishers but not the royals or the Meiteis. Even the last king of Manipur always travelled with four Kuki bodyguards. As we see, the three major tribes in Manipur, the Nagas, the Meiteis, and the Kukis. Before going into the demands of the major tribes, let's also discuss the topography of the state. The state is surrounded by 9 hills with an oval shaped valley at the center, and hence it is called the Jewel of India. The Nagas and Kukis reside in the hilly regions, and the Meiteis reside in the valley, where the capital city, Imphal, is also located. Successive governments since independence have failed to mainstream the northeastern states. Thus, insurgency infested the states. Another major problem in the state is drug trafficking. This region has become the hub for it, which triggered the recent violence. Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, the Golden Triangle, want to include Manipur in their drug trafficking cartel. Churachandrapur district is the worst drug affected district in the state. Now let's look into the demands of the tribes. Nagas wanted separate state or a separate country from the beginning. To defend from frequent attacks of Nagas, even Meiteis took up the arms. During annexation of the state, the Meiteis also fought against the government of India. Kukis want a separate administration, either a separate state or an union territory. But after the recent violence that flared up, they are demanding a separate state under Article 3. On the other hand, the Meiteis want the status of scheduled tribes. One of the main reasons for their demand is the land acquisition policy in the state. They cannot buy or sell lands in the hilly areas as they're not scheduled tribes. They want more reservation in government jobs and admission to the colleges. Then what sparked the violence? A single judge High Court order to consider the demand of Métis was highly condemned by the opposing tribes, and the violence between all the tribes stirred up from May 3rd, 2023. Now let us look into the constitutional aspect of this issue. Article 244, Schedule 5 deals with the administration and control of scheduled tribes and areas. Scheduled areas are areas which President may by order declare to be scheduled areas. Article 342, Clause 1 states that the President, after consultation with the state governments and the governor there, by public notification, specify the tribes or tribal communities or parts of or groups within the tribes or tribal communities which shall, for the purpose of this constitution, is deemed to be scheduled tribes in relation to the state or union territory as the case may be. These orders can only be modified subsequently through an act of parliament, not by subsequent presidential orders. The committees that are historically appointed to look into the issues of scheduled tribes are the Locker Committee 1965 has been appointed to recommend the criteria for scheduling of tribes. Buria Committee 1944 has been appointed to examine the issues arising out of the extension of Part 9 of the Constitution, that is the Panchayati Raj, to scheduled areas. The Zaza Committee 2013 was appointed to examine the socio-economic, educational and health status of tribal communities and recommend appropriate interventional measures to improve the same. So what can be done? What is the way forward? The Government of India and State Government of Manipur should increase the level of monitoring in the border regions to prevent the influx of migrants from Myanmar. Central government should take long-term measures to prevent further incidents like these in future, such as upskilling all the tribals so they prefer to go out of the state and country to find opportunities and be a global citizen. There could also be another way of implementing the doctrine of due commerce, which holds the world is made better, more peaceful, tolerant, and fair through relations of trade. Hope you have enjoyed the session. We'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you.